Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's story is one that hits deep about family, pride, and how sometimes silence can be the loudest revenge. My name's Ethan, I'm 35, and for as long as I can remember, my older brother Luke has been the golden boy of our family, the favorite son, the one who could do no wrong. While I studied hard, built my career from scratch, and stayed humble, he was always the loud one, the center of attention, the one Dad bragged about. And I never cared until that night, the night of my father's 70th birthday. The house was full of laughter, champagne glasses clinking, old friends catching up, and there was Luke, standing in the middle of the living room, surrounded by people, talking about his success, his investments, his life. He made sure everyone heard how well he was doing. I stayed in the background, helping him on with the cake, happy to see Dad smiling. But then Luke noticed me, and like always, he couldn't resist taking a jab. He raised his glass and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Let's all toast to Dad, and maybe one day, Ethan will figure out what success looks like." Laughter erupted, some awkward, some genuine. I froze. My father's smile faded slightly, but he said nothing. My mother tried to brush it off, whispering, "Ignore him, sweetheart." But I couldn't, not this time. I'd spent years letting him humiliate me. I'd been the quiet son, the one who never fought back. But that night, I was done. I smiled politely, put my drink down, and said, "Excuse me for a moment." Then I stepped outside. Cold air hit my face, but my heart was burning. I looked at the stars and thought of everything Luke had taken, not just attention, but respect. He'd mocked my struggles when I lost my job, ridiculed my small startup idea, and even told Dad I was a dreamer with no direction. What he didn't know was that the dream he laughed at, the one he said would never work, had just changed my life. 2 years earlier, when Luke mocked me for leaving my finance job to play around with tech, I started my own company, a cybersecurity firm. It was tough at first. I worked day and night, sold my car, lived off instant noodles, and slept in my office chair. Luke called me the family embarrassment. But just last month, that same company was acquired by an American tech giant for $48 million. The deal had closed quietly, confidentially, and I hadn't told anyone yet, not even my parents, because I wanted to wait for the right moment. And that moment had just arrived. I took a deep breath, walked back inside, and saw Luke still holding court, telling a story about how he'd save his company from disaster. I interrupted him gently. "Hey, Luke," I said with a calm smile. "You said I should figure out what success looks like. Maybe you can help me, since you know so much about it." The room went silent. He smirked, thinking I was trying to joke my way out. "Sure, little brother," he said. "I'd be happy to give you a few lessons." I nodded. "Perfect, but maybe I'll teach you something instead." I pulled out my phone and tapped the screen, connecting it to the living room TV. A presentation appeared. The logo of my company flashed across it. My father frowned. "Ethan, what's this?" he asked. I smiled. "Just something I've been working on." Then the slide changed. A news headline from that morning. "Local startup acquired by global tech corporation for $48 million. My name was right there in the headline. For a moment, no one spoke. Then I turned to Luke. "I figured I'd wait until tonight to share with Dad," I said softly, "since you mentioned success." The color drained from his face. My mother gasped. My father stood up, eyes wide. "Ethan, you did this?" I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. "Yes, Dad. The company you thought was just a side project. It finally paid off." The room erupted. Applause, disbelief, questions. My father hugged me tightly, tears in his eyes. "I'm proud of you, son," he whispered. Words I'd waited decades to hear. Luke just stood there frozen, his glass trembling slightly. For the first time, he had nothing to say. Later that night, after the guests left, I found Luke sitting alone in the backyard. He looked up when I approached. "You really did it, huh?" he muttered. I nodded. "Yeah, I did." He forced a bitter laugh. "Guess the joke's on me." I looked at him for a long moment. "It was never about proving you wrong, Luke. I just wanted respect. From my family, from you, But you made me realize something. You only respect power, not people." He didn't respond, just stared at the ground. I walked back inside, feeling a strange peace. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel small. I didn't feel invisible. I felt free. A week later, I called my father and told him I wanted to buy him something. A gift for all the years he believed in me, even when he didn't say it out loud. I bought him a new car, the same model he'd always dreamed of but never bought for himself. When I handed him the keys, his eyes filled with tears. "Ethan," he said softly, "you didn't have to." "I know," I replied, "but I wanted to." As for Luke, well, I humbled him. His company faced trouble months later, and he reached out for advice. And I helped him, not because he deserved it, but because that's what real success looks like. Not money, not applause, but grace. So yeah, at Dad's birthday, my brother mocked me. And when I stepped outside that night, I wasn't escaping. I was choosing silence over anger and strategy over pride. And that silence, it changed everything. Thanks for listening. Everyone, if you love this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Because next week, I'll tell you how my brother's jealousy nearly cost us both everything, until life flipped the script again.